Welcome. Today we're in the series of moving deeper into being free. It goes up and down, and this is a step which turns up for us every now and again, and it will deepen our sense of being free. And so it's about change, a plus. This is how we receive change. If we don't want change, then our freedom will be restricted. And so we'll be doing our usual, pausing and listening, accepting to what we hear, and then when we look back, we'll find that we've taken one more step to freedom within us for this time. So there's one thing in life which is certain, and that is change. And some of this change happens without conscious effort. We are first of all babies, and then we age. And there's a whole range of changes in that movement of which we have no control. So, yes, we're babies. Maybe we were as happy as this baby, and maybe when we get older we'll be as happy as this couple. So this slide is to point out that there are many changes in life over which we need to make no conscious effort. It happens automatically. But for everyone that I know about, underneath there's a desire for, I'm calling it more, but it could be for peace or calm. I haven't met anyone who hasn't got an inbuilt desire somewhere, maybe pretty hidden, where they're looking for more than they're experiencing at this moment. Now, this more, it's what takes us to realise our potential. If we stayed in our comfort zone, we would never move forward. And while we mightn't think so, we might be bored. And if you're the one that's bored, well then maybe key into your more energy, because that is within you. So how do you realise this potential? What do you do with this invitation for more? So those invitations are there. They have different forums. Sometimes they come from outside, but it's an inner invitation to an outside reality. And sometimes in our life, a few times, when a cycle of life has rounded off, we may have for a short while a sense of coasting along. Because our life experience goes in cycles, and each cycle has steps that happen, and we'll be looking at those steps in other parts of this series. So when a cycle is complete, we will have a time of coasting along, and this coasting along may go with hand in hand with other cycles that aren't up to coasting along. So there might be a part of us that has a sense of coasting along. And at that time, there's a sense of being grounded in your deep self. And really, that's kind of another name for freedom, a sense of inner freeing. And these two we could judge that they have that sense of inner freedom. He looks like he's happy to embrace life and whatever life presents to him. And she looks like she's coping with life, with whatever she's got and whatever she needs to do. Now, for all of us, the essence of this deep inner self you could call an inner sanctuary. And we all have this. And there's a part of it which is not for sharing with anyone, even your closest friend or partner. There's an inner sanctuary within all of us. And out of that inner sanctuary, there will be tingles and clangs and niggles and nudges arising, as well as tingles and clangs and niggles and nudges coming out of there from our reaction to outside events and happenings that impinge on us. And to each of these invitations, we have a choice. We can say, no, I don't want to change. I'm not going to embrace it. I'm going to stick my feet in the mud and stay here because I'm comfortable, or other words you use. But the answer could be no. Now, if the answer is no, you can be sure that in the patterns there will be a sense of dissatisfaction inside you, or second guessing. Should I? Shouldn't I? Would it be better if I had? Did I make the right decision? So there'll be a sense of dissatisfaction in the long run, maybe not in the short run. But yes has positive effects, and you can see the positive effects in these two people, affect and effect. Effect, the physical expression; affect, the emotional expression that you can see through their facial expressions. And so when we say yes, the residue in the long run is satisfied, and don't those two look satisfied? Yes really does take us to another level of feeling free. I have another name for it and another image. It's like more sense of harmony. You can see in this image the peacefulness that's there. Also, the surroundings have a peacefulness about them, a dreamlike energy. But the sense of harmony is not dream-like. It's a settling within us. So, yes to inner invitations is very, very important. It's important also to know or to sense, and it's built in for us, that the invitation is for growth, not when it's a temptation. A temptation is when it's leading us to non-growth. And maybe sometimes when we're going to say no on the way, it's a temptation to say no. And then we have to weigh up, out of our past experience, whether we want the dissatisfaction or satisfaction. So, when we say yes to inner invitations, the potential that we have comes to reality. And that is what brings the depthing of our sense of freedom and inner harmony. So when we have this sense of satisfaction from having said yes to an invitation, we can know that it's one or the other. Either that a cycle of life experience has begun or is moving forward. And that is really important. And in this image, you see that the cycles come to the middle and get less defined because there's a happiness, and you may call them jewels, there in the middle of that image. So the step deeper into your free self is to be grounded in your deep self. Those two are synonymous. Feeling free and being grounded in your deep self. And when we are grounded in our deep self, we can embrace life with cheerfulness and poise, and carry on our work appropriately, using our gifting and at peace. So a summary of this step is, the outcome is, when we live in tune with the more than us caring that comes up through inner invitations, we will have a deeper sense of freedom within us and inner harmony.